Welcome everybody to Team Templar North America. We're in studio today with Sara-Jayne Goldingham. Welcome, Sarah.
Hello, it's lovely to be with you again.
Yes, it's fine to actually meet in person. Sarah is a member of the Culti Church, a Christian church based on the early teachings of the esoteric Christianity and the Druid schools of Britain. She graduated from London University in 1980 with a degree in religious studies and completed her teacher training in the Jesuit College in London. Her postgraduate research specializes in the hidden doctrines which have shaped the esoteric religious thinking of the West, from the New Testament writers to the newly discovered documents in the Middle East to the Knights Templar. That's pretty amazing.
I have to tell you that I never thought I'd find anybody who was interested in all of that. And in you, I found someone who's interested in all the bits and pieces that I've done over the years. So it's great. And actually, I think we can really piece it together quite cohesively.
A few days ago, I had sent you a copy of our latest video about how the original discovery was put together and how it went through the process of finding it in some of the steps that I took. And then almost 4 to 5 years later, we made contact, and we shared a lot of information privately back and forth. Everything from Roslyn Chapel to the Templars. But it seems that when I sent you this video and then you discovered or heard that we were looking at the older religion, what did you think about all that?
Well, as you know, I'm very interested in the Templars, and we've spoken and texted for quite a while, a few years now, and sent ideas back and forth, and I've looked at some of the stone carvings that you found in Wisconsin, and there was something that I just couldn't actually put my hand on my heart and say, I think they're Templar. There was something missing to me. And then you put the video out, The Hidden Secrets of the 12 Disciples. And it was probably the first bit of footage with the monks that I suddenly, this huge penny dropped. And I realized that I felt that the carvings that you have found in Wisconsin are actually much older than you think. And this I'm really willing to stick my neck out on because, and it does all tie up, there was an Irish saint called Brendan, Brendan the Navigator, and he... A copy of his voyage was done, I think, in 1979 by Tim Severin to see if it was possible to cross the Atlantic from Ireland to Newfoundland in a coracle, and it was. And in his autobiography, which was he set sail in the 5th century, and his landing place has never been discovered. Nobody knows where but all his other islands that he went to, there's 12 sort of islands, he just sailed around and around for 7 years, converting people from paganism to Christianity. And lots of his islands we can identify. They're very similar to those islands that are mentioned in the sagas. When Erik Thorbjarnardóttir went across from Iceland to the Newfoundland and described in the saga, and Leif Erikson, of course, described in the sagas those landing places, which we can now look at New Brunswick, at Vinland, and various places. Well, there are also 12 islands that are described in Brendan's voyages. And something that you sent me wasn't on the video, but something you'd sent me a while ago. And I wasn't quite sure where it fitted, but it was about the Eskimo living further south than they do now, in a place called Great Ireland, and a description of men in white dresses with poles. That's really what triggered me. And then your video, the Hidden Gospels of the 12 Disciples, I thought to myself, has he actually discovered the landing place of Brenton?
I would like to...
If you have, Wendy, if you have, you've made history, because nobody's found it.
Well, I'd like to think that we may have stumbled across something.
Well, you absolutely have, because of course you found the cross pate, or let's call it the Celtic cross, the cross of navigation. And you've also found that inverted triangle, which are powerful symbols of the early church.
Yeah, and right next to that was a fish symbol.
Your friend who wrote to you, who was writing on the Templars, who found the inverted triangle in the church in Rome, that church was actually 9th century. And so it probably was old. That symbol itself could have been much older than a Templar symbol. But obviously, I'm not compartmentalizing this, because I believe that what we're looking at is a continuation of a line of hidden knowledge that came from Sumeria, through Egypt, up through Gaul, into Britain, and across to the Americas. So it scoops up all the people who are willing to work with that theology, if you like. It works with all of them, from the Cathars, the Albigensians, the Templars. You know, it's a thread that works all the way through.
One of the things that I had come across was in my research. I call it bits and pieces, because I try to find things and look for things that other people just inadvertently overlook or intentionally overlook. And I come across this a professor from about 1822, 1826 from Britain, and he had wrote some papers on the Viking sagas. And it was peer-reviewed, and he had put all of his information together, and he come up with a landing point. And we know where that landing point is. So what I did is, in his work, he had included a circular graph of the old Viking travel and all of the different time periods, and broke it down. So what I did is I overlaid that, the Druids that built a Stonehenge. So what I did is I found a very good picture of Stonehenge from an aerial view. Then I took this circular Viking sundial, as just for lack of better descriptors, overlaid it. It lined up perfectly with all the large stones of Stonehenge. And I don't think no one else has even thought about this. So with this professor's information, how they worked the sun by certain periods of the time of the day, and it was either 22 to 25 miles per quarter of the sun that they could travel, he figured it out and gave us a north latitude, longitude landing point. And it's right in line with North America, a very important point.
And of course, Stonehenge is older than the pyramids at Giza.
And that takes us to Egypt and Moses.
It does. It does.
From accidentally finding a cross pate in Wisconsin, then stumbling across an ancient tomb that may outdate Christopher Columbus by centuries. Are our forebears really trying to tell us something? Is it really possible that Team Templar of North America has come across information that could lead to what is believed to be the hidden Gospels of the 12 disciples? Continue to follow us as we unravel these mysteries on this Team Templar magical journey. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.